Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm your host, Carrie Dillon. We are joined by Emily Johnson from Polaris Capital Advisors. We're going to demystify a couple of things today about college savings.
Yes.
And saving. Now, I love what you said. You said no matter what, you're going to be late stage planning. Mm-hmm. So let's just get over that hump right away.
Exactly.
Let's just get over that hump right away. And we're going to talk first about 529s.
Okay.
Okay. What is it? I mean, we've heard this going around, but it's like it's magic.
So it actually is. It's financial planning magic when it comes to planning for college. And it's great for parents and it's great for grandparents. It's actually great for any relatives that want to contribute to a child's college education. And actually now, it's not just college. You can actually use 529s. This is a great little pointer. You can actually use 529 starting last year for K through 12.
Yes.
So if you have a child that goes to private school and you're paying private school tuition, you can actually roll that tuition through a 529 and get your state tax deduction. So if you do the math on that, let's just do round numbers. If you have a child that you're paying $10,000, again, round numbers, for private school tuition, and you run that through a 529, meaning you write a check to your own 529 plan or your child's 529 plan,
right.
And then the next day you take that same amount right back out again, and you're paying your child's school, and the timing of this doesn't matter, you get a state tax deduction.
State tax deduction. I
mean, most people are paying 7% or so in South Carolina taxes. So if you look at that 7% on 10 grand, multiplied times just one kid is a decent tax deduction.
Absolutely.
And multiplied times multiple kids, it's quite a few. So,
exactly. And I think some people thought like private school might be out of the realm because of that, and this is going to open up opportunities for folks.
It really does.
Who really want to look into that.
Definitely. I mean, if you're saving, and it's easy. I mean, I've personally done it, and I've done it for clients. It's actually that easy. You can literally write the check, call them, and have the money distributed the next day. So it's not like you're necessarily going to be
not a lot of hoops.
Cash strapped.
Not a lot of hoops. Okay, let's get over the second hump right now. There's going to be debt. There's going to be debt.
I thought you said there's going to be dead. Like, oh, there is?
No,
that wasn't on our list.
Debt. There's going to be debt. Do you want to do that again?
No.
No. Okay.
No, there is going to be debt. Hopefully, there's not going to be debt, but there is going to be debt. Chances
are
you
might feel like you're going to drop dead when you see the debt. But,
exactly.
Okay. But there are two.
And we try to avoid that too.
Portions of the debt here. There's the student portion, and the family portion.
Exactly. So a lot of what you hear about on the news is talking about what students graduate with when it comes to debt.
However,
let's say the average is about $30,000 or so, and everybody's crying their eyes out over that $30,000 in debt that the students are graduating with, which is actually oftentimes pretty interest rate favored debt. It's not actually bad debt necessarily, as long as you can pay it back.
Yeah, they're smart debt.
It's smart debt, exactly. Parents, on the other hand, are not capped on the amount of debt that they can take on for college. And this is just college, not graduate school, and it's massive.
Yeah.
So if a student is, say, taking on $10,000 a year, and I think that's even more than what they can right now, the parent is taking on the overage of that if they want to send their kid to a specific school, or if the kid wants to go to that school and they've decided as a family that that's what they're going to do. And so often the communication really isn't there, whether it's because the parents are either embarrassed to discuss with their child about what this is going to look like for them, they're upset that they haven't actually planned early enough, whatever that might be. Or maybe, I mean, I don't know, I have the Catholic guilt of, do you feel like, perhaps, you're not giving everything to your child, but when you really look at it, it might not be, the most expensive school might not be the best
choice.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Not just from a financial standpoint. So often
from an educational standpoint.
Exactly.
Like research, get to know the programs that are out there that's going to be the best fit for you.
Exactly. And there's lots of tools out there to do that. It's just a question of knowing where to find them. There's a lot of disparate pieces that are out there. I mean, everybody knows about the FAFSA, and then you can look up what the net cost is for each school on most schools' sites. There are also some other resources that you can find that information. But then you want to look up not just what the net cost is, but what is the employment rate after people graduate? What is the average salary for each of those programs when people graduate, and really try to do that long-term
what's realistic.
Math. Exactly.
What's realistic for surviving in this world.
Exactly. Like when I talk to high school students and I ask them, what do you want to major in and where do you want to live? And almost across the board I hear, well, either shoe designer or marketing major. And to them, marketing majors make about $130 as soon as they graduate from college, and they're going to be living in New York, of course, potentially Chicago, and living in their own apartment. And I try to sort of massage in the fact that that's probably not going to be the case. Whether or not you have debt, you're probably going to have 5 roommates, and we just need to embrace that whole concept. But just the idea of what the real math is for when you graduate and what that's going to look like. But more importantly, mom and dad need to be really clear about what it's going to look like for them, because they're taking on this debt for most of us, it'd be in our 50s.
In our 50s.
Yeah.
Totally different from taking it on in your 20s.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we need to continue this conversation with you, Miss Emily Johnson. Make sure that you get in touch with Miss Emily here at Polaris.
Yes.
Polaris.
Yes.
Polaris.
We answer to both.
I've been called worse, right?
Exactly, by far.
Capital Advisor. So good to have you here today.
Likewise.
We'll be right back with more Talk of the Town.